Thank you so much for being part of this community, a part of this show. Also, we are trying to get more voices from the people from all around the world. And yes, we have covered some organizers from the WordCamp Europe also. And this time, we are very fortunate to have you on our show from the event side, and we are like to talk about some kind of our opinion on WordPress and community things and other things also. I'll also post the question on the chat box also. We will basically talk about that factors of WordPress only to uh, rank the development of WordPress. I can say that it's how we take the WordPress from our beginning to this point. So let's start with your introduction, and let's talk about your inspiration to involve in this kind of event and being a part of WordPress and all other things. Can you start?
Okay, certainly. Certainly. Well, my name is Mike Johnston. I am an American or a U.S. citizen currently living in Lisbon, Portugal. I have been involved with WordCamp Europe for the last 3 years, Porto, Athens, and then this year in Torino, and have had a tremendous experience working on the conferences, getting to know the people, getting involved in the community here. I have been working with WordPress for about 6 years, so it predated my coming to Europe. I would call myself an enthusiast rather than an entrepreneur or an agency owner or anything like that. So I build websites for myself and for a few other people, but I'm not out trying to make a lot of money building websites or doing that sort of stuff. So it's a thing I do that it allows me to continue to work in a technology vein that I otherwise might not have. So anyway, that's just a little bit of my background.
What kind of elements or things that drive you from that technical background to the WordPress? Because I have also seen your profile that you have recently, like 2018 or 2020, you have started WordPress. What factor that attract you to get into this community?
Well, 6 years ago, I was looking for some kind of new project to get started on, something to kind of bridge as I retired from my professional career and got into post-professional work.
Yeah.
And my wife, I'm about to say my wife at the time, she's still my wife. My wife suggested, why don't we do a food and travel blog? And I thought about it for about 30 seconds and said, sure, why not? How hard can that be? And that was, at that moment, that was the latest opportunity I had to completely underestimate the complexity of something. But it gave me, even as I said it, I had been reading some about WordPress and had been exposed to it a little bit. And I thought this will be a good opportunity to learn something about WordPress. So we started the cookandthewriter.com with self-hosted WordPress and built from there. So it's been an excellent vehicle for me to learn the technology and to become a better writer and to travel a little bit. So that was the gateway into this now.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So I think our question will be very relatable to you for this ranking also. Let's start our game for this. So we are trying to get some number for the WordPress development, like ease of use, customization, and flexibility, e-commerce capability, and other things also. And let's start with the first question that we are going to rank WordPress for this factor. I have also sent the question in the chat.
Yeah.
It's ease of use. Considering
Make sure.
yeah, considering the interface and the available tool, how easy do you find using WordPress for building and managing your website? Like, if you feel it's difficult, we'll go to the one, and we'll if you find it's very easy or other things, we'll go to 10. And if you have anything to share with the, so you can also give some like your opinion on that point.
Okay. My rating on that would be an 8. I think that as I think back, I built my first couple of sites, kind of no-code sites in WordPress. I didn't have any formal training. Everything I learned through doing or through reading or research. And we used just pretty much the out-of-the-box functionality in the WordPress version at the time. We had a small set of plugins that we used to kind of expand on it, and we had a good general purpose theme to build on. And whenever I got stuck, couldn't quite figure out what I needed to do next, I could always find an answer online, either in a forum or occasionally a YouTube video, and that's what allowed me to be successful early on. In the years since, I've gotten much more involved, kind of down at a deeper level in the technology, trying to understand more about how WordPress works and how the whole tech stack works, and there's a never-ending learning curve in this. There's always something new to learn, and it's an enjoyable part of it for me, being able to look at something and go, okay, here's a problem I want to solve. How can I do that hopefully in the simplest and most straightforward way? That doesn't always happen, but how can I solve that problem, leveraging the information that's out there on WordPress.org and on all the forums and in the podcast and the article. I mean, there's no shortage of things to read and learn from.
Yeah, but we can also compare the tool that we used to use before WordPress. Like it's have a different kind of admin dashboard and other setting and other things also. While comparing that system, did you find WordPress is a little easy or for the?
Well, so my point of reference would be probably 10 years earlier, doing a very rudimentary blog on Blogger, back when that was a thing, and that was that was really simple to use and simple to set up and didn't require much technical expertise. But it also, if I recall, there wasn't a lot of flexibility. It kind of did what it did, and if that was what you needed, you were okay. But if you needed it to do something else, you probably weren't going to get there. So for me, the flexibility that I found in WordPress, there's some complexity out there. There's some things you have to learn. There's some bits that I may never understand, but the payoff for getting into it is generally finding out how I can make the thing work.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the question number 2. It's also like you have covered that things also. How do you rank this customization and flexibility things for the WordPress in terms of themes, plugins, and or design option? Like we have a page builder, Elementor, and other things. And recently we are just experiencing the Gutenberg block editor also. How do you find rank the customization and flexibility?
This is definitely a 10 for me, because there are more options available to me in the WordPress ecosystem than I'll ever be able to use. There's more options than any of us will be able to use. So, it's sort of a matter of figuring out over time what are the general use cases that I'm going to have as I build sites for myself or for others, and what kind of starter site can I build that incorporates the tool set that seems to work best for me, that embodies the set of plugins and the theme of choice for me. So it's almost a matter of eliminating some choices in order to get some things done. I could imagine somebody new to the ecosystem, and it happened to me some too, kind of like, okay, I need a plugin to make forms. Let me go to the repo, and I can get lost in there for a couple weeks trying to figure out, is it this form or that form or whatever, and reading everything under the sun and getting, reading 10 different articles and getting 8 different opinions. So it's at some point it's a matter of picking the thing that seems like it's the best fit and using it until you run out of runway on it, and then if you can't go where you want to go, then you trade it out for something else.
Yeah, there are lots of themes and lots of plugins which are equally capable to serve on slides or make a website, but which one is best is the main thing. We need to choose that also, and it's also like a kind of our need also, like you have said. It's like our requirement. What is the requirement of us? So you are giving the customization and flexibility point to the 10 point for this factor of the WordPress.
Yes, 10.
And yeah, do you have any kind of e-commerce site, or you have built e-commerce things like using WooCommerce or subscription things, or people are just doing AdSense things and just monetary things with the website? So we are talking about this factor also for ranking WordPress compatibility or other things also. This is a question number 3, and I have also pasted on the chat box also. How do you rate experience using WordPress for the e-commerce? Not only e-commerce, not only shop. We are talking about the ad and subscription and other things also, lead generation things also. We can also talk about the SaaS things also. How including setting up an online store and managing sales, like analytics things and order management things. And you can also relate anything about the e-commerce with the WordPress. How do you rate?
Yeah, this is an area where I just haven't had any experience. I've not had to implement an online store or implement any of the e-commerce solutions yet. I'll say it that way. I'm currently working on a project where we're going to have a small online store. So if we can talk again in a year, I'll have a better answer for you.
Yeah. But we may also have browse WooCommerce e-commerce site that built with WordPress, and we can also share that experience also. If you have anything to add, you can add, or we can leave that things also.
Yeah, I don't. There's not much more I can add to that topic. Simply because I haven't worked in it.
Okay, this is also a different thing, and e-commerce and blogging are different thing, and people could not relate each other. And okay, let's going to the point number 4, like learning and community, that we have also covered in our previous conversation. the community, and how do you rate the availability and quality of learning resources and community support like tutorial forum, and we also have codex and YouTube and WordCamp meetups and other things also help us to learn more about the new kind of programming or development or marketing things. How do you take that factor for the WordPress? Like rating 1 is very poor and the top rating is 10 is for the excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to say a 10 because the availability of resources and the community support has really helped me tremendously. I've been involved in local meetups in Lisbon and in Porto. As I said earlier, I've been involved in three WordCamps now, and these experiences have been just tremendous in terms of learning new things, meeting new people, making the connections, figuring out who I know that I could call if I get stumped on a problem, and the other learning resources, the tutorials and the forums and the Learn WordPress, all of that material it's both excellent and overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where you kind of go, okay, where do I start? And generally when I go after something, I'll find one article that sort of hits on the topic I want to learn about, and then it'll link to something else and something else, and within 45 minutes I'm way off on a tangent. So it's dangerous for somebody who doesn't have a real rigid, focused attention span. But I think I worked with WordPress for 3 years in the United States before I came to Portugal, and had no interaction with WordCamps or meetups. There was no meetup in the area where I was living, and the one WordCamp I had planned to attend got canceled because of COVID. And so when I came to Portugal, it really was one of the first things I did was seek out the local meetup and say, hey, I want to come meet you folks and participate in this. And I've since like I said, I've learned an awful lot. I did a presentation for the Lisbon meetup earlier this year, kind of my way of giving back to them something. And so yeah, I learn better by doing, and having a problem to solve and figuring it out. So I don't go through a lot of courses. I don't necessarily sit through a lot of tutorials. But if there's one that's on a particular topic I'm interested in, yeah, I'll sit through it, and then the thing I want to do is go try it, right? So it's all been very, very valuable for me.
So it's in terms of community, WordPress will always on the top, because the WordPress, I also found the community of WordPress is very used and very helpful. So I have also changed my programming platform from CodeIgniter to the WordPress just because of the community, because there are lots of people are gathering to the event and just sharing their knowledge to the new people. There are 500, 600 people are just around one venue, and they are just giving their knowledge to the other people also. Yeah, that's great. That's the great factor of WordPress. Okay, let's go to the question number 5. That is the final question on the factor of WordPress, like mobile design and responsiveness, and they have also adapted the page builder functionality, and they are also working on the AI and other design standard also. So based on our experience, not a kind of expert kind of opinion. We are just collecting our opinion, just not only using. We can also share our experience, like seeing it or just reading from any blog or other things. We can also give our opinion.
Mhm.
This is for the adaptability to new technology. How well do you think WordPress adapt new technology and trend like mobile responsiveness and AI and
Yeah, I'm going to say kind of 7 or 8, because this is a challenge for any major software product. It's one that I dealt with in my prior professional career with commercial software packages, and the challenge that I think the way the challenge expresses itself is there's always going to be a demand for new things. New object is that's out there, how can we incorporate that into our software? But at the same time, how do we maintain the stability of the platform, the stability of the code base? And I think WordPress does a tremendous job in ensuring backwards compatibility. So there's new stuff that happens. There's always a flap once or twice a year. Some new thing gets implemented and it breaks something in the back room, and so we have to scramble and fix that. But there seems to me to be, and I think this is one of the strengths of the whole WordPress community. I've started listening to things like the developer hours webinars and reading articles by some of the folks who are kind of out there thinking about the new capabilities. And so I can tell there's a group of people who are really thinking hard about what's the next thing we need to try to bring into WordPress. And some of it, I see some of it coming. I've been watching the interactivity API for a little while, and that's out there. It's not something I use, but I can see a use case for it in a little while, right? So those sort of things, I think I see WordPress adapting as well as any major software platform can. You can't just stop doing what you've been doing for 20 years to go plug AI into it. You still got thousands and millions of websites that are going to run without AI probably forever. And I have to say, AI is one of those things that I haven't worked with in WordPress simply because I haven't had a use case that demanded it. My stuff's really pretty simple, so I don't need a lot of artificial intelligence. But I try to pay attention to what's going on out there, because I think it will, over time, certainly influence the way we build sites and maintain them and work with our clients. So it's you got to pay attention to it.
That's the thing. That's the main thing that we need. A new thing and old thing are just coming with our project. Thank you for your this kind of justification for your opinion. Okay, let's talk about the overall satisfaction that you have started from your journey to the WordPress to this point. Like how you rate, like overall satisfaction. How satisfied you with your experience using WordPress to your project or business?
Yeah, I'll say a 9, and that's as much because I think there's always some room for improvement. I couldn't necessarily tell you what I'd like to see most improved or the thing that bothers me the most about it, but overall the experience I've had has been very, very positive. I got into working with WordPress shortly after Gutenberg was introduced. So I know what the old editor does, used tools like that forever. But I could kind of tell coming in that despite the fact that there were a lot of people who were upset or angry about it, this was going to be the wave of the future. So that's what I focused on, and have kind of tried to stay true to that as I've gone along. So and then again, like I said, the demand I place on WordPress for technology and complexity and anything else is pretty minimal. You know, the sites I build are low volume, low maintenance. You know, they do some fun stuff, but I'm far from a power user. But I get a tremendous amount of satisfaction in being able to get out there and kind of peel back the top and look at the way the code works and try doing some things and making the improvements to my sites based on what I can figure out how to do. So from an overall satisfaction standpoint, it lets me build the things I need to build. It lets me, it keeps a challenge out in front of me, so I'm constantly having to learn something else. And it's given me access to just a tremendous community of really, really talented people who have enriched my life tremendously. So I'm there, right?
So what are the point on that one? Like you said 9 for the rank for this overall satisfaction.
Yeah.
What's the thing you have separated for the point 1? Like you have said, you could also say this 10. You say.
Well, yeah, and it's probably more of a personal bias, just to say, you know, yeah, I'm really, really satisfied with it. I'm sure there are ways I could be more satisfied, even though I couldn't articulate what they are today. So that's probably me being a really unreasonable client, right?
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for your opinion. This will also helpful to our viewers and other people who watch this, who will watch this webinar later. Will publish this on our YouTube channel for the reference for the other people. Thank you so much. So, do you have any other plan besides attending WordCamp Europe, or you have just came here for the event?
Well, I'm going to this WordCamp. I'm going to actually attend a couple talks. The last 2, I ended up in the communications room and we just worked all day and never really got out. So there's a couple talks this time I want to get out and hear. We have a really tremendous team working in the communication side who have just kind of picked up the work and run with it. So I think the output of this team has been really exceptional. And then frankly, when it's all over, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks.
That's good. The good part of WordCamp is also a kind of traveling and having new place, seeing new place, experience new foods and new environment. That's also great about the WordPress.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay, thank you once again. Thank you for being the part of this session. We'll have another meeting for another speaker, and we'll talk on these things. Most probably, we'll also meet on other WordCamps. Like we may meet, like we talk in Zoom. Hopefully, in the live.
Yep. Very good. Very good. Well, thank you. I really appreciate the chance to talk with you today. Like I said, I've enjoyed the material that you've published. I've learned some things from it, so I'm happy to participate.
Okay, thank you. Have fun.